Ready? Hi, everyone. It's a very good pleasure for me to present these two experts on AI field. Santiago and Bruno they are going to present the better ways to use the AI to optimize resources in the library and the archives. Ok, estimados todos, gusto en verlos, en estar con ustedes el día de hoy. El día de hoy vamos a presentar a estos dos expertos, Santiago y Bruno, que nos estarán hablando sobre la inteligencia artificial para optimizar búsquedas, aprovechar recursos dentro de la biblioteca. Estaremos hablando alternando entre dos idiomas. Voy a poner, denme un segundo. Aquí está. Estaremos hablando en dos idiomas, pero para su mejor comodidad, déjenme les comparto cómo pueden traducir el idioma. Permítanme un segundo. Esta es la manera. Primero van a Custom Live Streaming y, bueno, seleccionan el idioma en el que quieren traducir la conversación. Muy bien. You can use the tool to get an interpretation to the text or to traduce. Well, now we're going to start with Bruno. Bruno, ¿cómo estás? How are you? It's a pleasure to hear you today. And can you talk about your experience on the AI and the libraries or archives? What do you think about this new experience for a lot of people who has listened us?
Olá, como estás? Olá a todos. Hello, everyone. 3 languages now: Portuguese, Spanish, and English. So It's a pleasure to be here. And I am a professor in Brazil, and the Federal Institute of Rio de Janeiro Science and Technology. I've been working on AI and libraries with 𝐼𝒏𝒊𝒗𝒆𝒓𝒔𝒊𝒅𝒂𝒅 a great institute in Brazil that studies all this stuff of libraries and technologies and all this stuff. So it's a great pleasure to be here. After the introducing of Santiago, I'll be pleasure to share with you some thoughts about AI and libraries. Thank you very much, Humberto. Thank you very much, Santiago. And here we go.
Yeah. Santiago, how are you today?
Great, thank you, Humberto. Thanks for having me. It's a
Could
pleasure.
could you give us a little introducing about yourself to us, please?
Of course. I am Santiago Villegas. I am from Medellin, Colombia. I can only speak in Spanish and English, not in Portuguese as Bruno. I can understand Portuguese as everyone in Latin America says, but I can talk up in Portuguese. So I'm an engineer. I'm a librarian. I'm a magister in social innovation. I combine these 3 areas of knowledge to help libraries and museums around the world to apply technologies to perform, different in their communities and do digital transformation human-centered for these institutions. So I've been working on that for more than 20 years right now. One of my first projects on AI was in 2007 in Medellin, Colombia, the city where I born. That we made the Mediateca for the semantic web. We use AI to make a semi-automatic metadata there. So I've been using AI for many years right now, and I'm very excited to use right now generative AI, but it's not the only AI that we are been using for years in libraries. So thank you very much. I'm here very, very, I heard that Bruno has a surprise for me, so I'm a little, overwhelmed on that. I've been hearing with many attention to you, Bruno. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. I have many questions for you, and you can answer if you want. The first question is about the barriers on the institutions, barriers about technical obstacles and financial obstacles, and how can the institutions can't abort, they don't have an expertise of the AI in their institutions.
So, okay, Humberto, if you don't mind, maybe it's better for us just a little introduction about the
Yes.
subject of our
Okay.
talk. So it's for the contextualization of the questions, just 10 minutes, and we can answer the questions and can do the presentations. How do you think?
Yes, I'm accord with you. You can talk about your argue or all that things that you have now in mind. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with
That's
you.
fine.
Thank
Okay,
you,
so
thank you.
it's excited to discuss how artificial intelligence is reshaping the way, right, we engage with information in libraries and archives. So in this presentation, we are trying to demonstrate I will demonstrate some practical applications of AI tools like transcription and interactive chat interfaces to illustrate how they enhance both discovery and accessibility in our field. So the surprise that Santiago told us is that because as I prepared for today's session, I was fortunate to discover that one of my fellow speakers is Santiago Villegas. I didn't know him, and his work and insights into AI in libraries have made a significant impact on our field, as I can comprove. So I was excited to learn more about his research and thoughts. So the first thing that I do, I will share my screen right now. Just a second. And you guys, please confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, just a second. Okay, can you see?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so as I prepared for today's session, I want to get a deeper understanding of Santiago's perspective. So I went to these websites and find some of his lectures. So I went to his LinkedIn and this so interesting website called 𝐻𝐿, and I found this really interesting AI para bibliotecas. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct. And here we have 4 sections, section 1, 2, 3, and 4 about artificial intelligence for libraries. But it's about 2 hours each one. It means 8 hours of really interesting content about artificial intelligence for libraries, right? And more than that, I found here in the LinkedIn these really early. Just a second here. Here, this Encuentro Nacional de Catalogación and the Santiago's participation. Very good. So, but his presentation, it's about the total time of presentation of Santiago. It's about 10 hours. And I had 20 minutes to understand all this stuff, all the interesting aspects of his presentations. And I use a AI tool to have the transcription of all his presentation. Right now we have all the transcriptions, and I took each transcription, right, that is here. As I can show you, all the transcriptions. And after that, I use ChatGPT and Claude, as you can see right now. I will put these transcriptions here. Of all these presentations of Santiago. And I will ask, please summarize all transcriptions. And it's about 10 hours of really interesting content that now ChatGPT is providing us a interesting summarizing about the content, right? And that was the first thing that I did to understand Santiago's thoughts about all this stuff of AI in libraries. After that, I was really interested in to see about what the science behind the AI and libraries. So I use another tool that is SciSpace to check about the science and to check about all this stuff. What the academy is talking about and researching about. So how can you say me about AI and libraries? Specifically about cataloging. And this is an interesting thing because one of the subjects of our presentation is about accessibility of knowledge, of trust knowledge, right? And here we have in Portuguese, sorry, a summary about all these the tasks that the academy is doing about AI and libraries, right? And you can see that it's really interesting because in 5 minutes I can access a kind of summarization of the Santiago's thoughts, and I can ask to ChatGPT, can you perform like Santiago? And the two learn with all these transcriptions, and I can, talk with Santiago here in the tool. So Santiago, what is your opinion about AI and libraries? Or what is the barriers that we have? It's called a digital clone, But now, I don't know if Santiago can validate this, if it's his style, I don't know, but it's really interesting, right? So, okay. So we have here something interesting to talk about. Using AI technologies to improve discovery and accessibility. Now, what I did, I take all these videos with the tool named 𝐻𝒫𝒐. I extract the transcriptions of all these presentations and use ChatGPT to dialogue to, fastly learn about the Santiago's thoughts about this subject. And after that, I use SciSpace to have, to know about what science is saying about this subject. About the AI techniques, we have here automatic speech recognitions, transformers, text-to-speech, but mainly retrieval augmented generation. When I upload all these transcriptions, what did I do is to inform to ChatGPT the context of my talk, right? So here we have a example on how can we improve the discovery of knowledge or the accessibility. For example, I can chat with ChatGPT, not only with text, I can talk with him, right? And now we can talk with Santiago in this style. So, but the point here is that without Santiago, we can't do all this stuff, The central point is not the technology, it's Santiago. Santiago produced all this amazing knowledge. Santiago have a style to present, and ChatGPT and 𝐻𝒫𝒐 only extract Santiago's thoughts, Santiago's knowledge. If we can transport this for libraries and archives, we have an interesting point that I want to listen about Santiago, but I am a computer scientist. I'm not from the biblioteconomy or information science, but I can see that bibliothèque economy and information science, it's about structuring information, you know, and all these generative artificial intelligence not deals really with all structured data, but is semi-structured or unstructured data. And this, you know, meeting of bibliothèque economy and information science, it's really interesting because we have all a field of structuring information to be used in a kind of science that use unstructured information. So we can use, for example, Google Cloud to, you know, use OCR technologies to improve the accessibility, or for example, analytics about the informations that is published according to years. We use some other tools as Julius or SQL or Poe as a tool for do some really similar that I did right now. So the discovery and the accessibility is also can be also done. So, but now another point, all this stuff, the central point of all this technology, of all these things that I'm trying to show you, is centered in the people. People are producing information. So the point here is that we have this amazing stuff of technologies and techniques of AI, but the point is it's all human-centered AI. It's all human-centered AI. The human beings produce knowledge. The human beings manage the knowledge, and not only producing, as I told you, but also validating the knowledge that is produced, right? So this is just my first thoughts about it. This is just my first thoughts and my surprise for Santiago. Santiago, thank you for all this information. I'm sorry if I made some mistakes about your thoughts, about, I don't know. And I'm here to answer questions and talk with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. I really impressed with your presentation and the stalking to the Santiago's career. But okay, we are going to continue with Santiago. Santiago, what do you want to tell about your experience? Thank you.
Okay, first I'm impressed with Bruno with this introduction. I never, I never made a digital twin of me. I know that it's one of the trends that some industries are going in, like Google with Gemini inside Gmail or inside Google Drive, or Microsoft with Copilot. But I never tried that, so thank you to do that. Now I will do the same in my personal files. So we made one of the things that Bruno tells is the most important thing that I want to tell you, and I want to start with that, is that the AI, the sense of the AI is the human, and we only survive as libraries for centuries because we always put the human on the center of our field. So we can tell a lot about cataloging. As I told you before, one of the first experiments that I did in the field of AI was cataloging the Mediateca for Medellin, for my city, the digital Mediateca with automatic metadata. But I prepare this conversation with a machine. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You are watching right now my screen, the screen of my phone. I've got a Pixel, so you can watch here a really long conversation that I had with ChatGPT about this. The phone that I will see was, okay, I'm giving this presentation on this with me. You'll be my assistant. And then you can see, to find
Yeah, we lost Santiago's
around
voice.
a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah,
We got you.
Yeah.
We got you. Thank
okay. We're going around a conversation about some libraries that I know that are working right now with AI on cataloging and on organization of the knowledge that they have, like the National Library of France, like the National Library of Norway, like the university libraries in Stanford. So you've got there a lot of information, a lot of back information on the conversation that we will have live here. So you're asking live, are we going to have a live conversation with ChatGPT? And yes, we are doing it right now. So I'll just click on this bottom button that we've got there, and then I put live the conversation. And let me, if the connection works, let me, okay. So say some prayers for the connection and Colombia, because we're going live with the conversation. While we wait the ChatGPT to start and update the voice. Okay, hello, how are you today? We are live with the librarians right now.
Santiago, perdón, no se está compartiendo la pantalla. No sé si la quieras compartir nuevamente.
Okay. Let's see if we can.
Gracias.
Let's see if we can share the conversation again.
Mientras, les comento que tenemos 220 asistentes y bueno, pues estamos como muy contentos de tenerlos a todos aquí. En un momento continuamos con la presentación de Santiago. Si no, Santiago, se estaba entendiendo.
I think the problem is that we can't have access to sound because of the settings of the program. But don't worry, we're doing it by text right now, and I show you in other time what we can do with conversation with live voice. So let's show you the conversation on my PC. That is the same conversation that I had there on my phone. You can see here all the back conversation that we had this morning and yesterday night with ChatGPT around this topic that we are talking right now. I'm going to share the link of this conversation at the end of our topic conference here. So the way that I can have a conversation not only by text but by voice right now with ChatGPT, you can do it there in your houses. It's the center of my first my first surprise as a person that have been using technology since I was 10 or 12 years old. When I was really young, I was surprised to use this very big computer, you remember, and you have to put that very big diskette there to do anything with the keyboard. You have to use the keyboard. You don't have mouse. And then I remember that when you have this logo program that you can paint with the logo on your screen, you were learning about how to program when you are using this little logo, turtle going around. Right now, we have a very different interface with computers. Right now, we have natural language as an interface with computers. And that's the point that I want to show you. We can now talk with computers, As you can see here, I just tell the ChatGPT that we are live with you, and then ChatGPT transcribe what I told them, and then they transcribe the things that the live voice told me. So we are using not only text, but we are using the voice. Do you remember when we librarians search on databases using these logic operators. You remember when we used to search in Alta Vista, or when we used to search in Yahoo, and we used or nor or minus or use these different kind of operators. We don't have to do that now. That's the very big revolution on AI. It's not about it's not about the technology that we have behind this. It's the way that we can interact with machines with natural language. That's the point on this. So you can go here, and then you can see that there's a lot of different tools that I use in this conversation. And let me just show you the last ones. When the last question that I asked to ChatGPT was, what are the most recent advances in the use of AI for knowledge organization and libraries? As you can see, I use here not ChatGPT itself. I use a tool within ChatGPT. I use this Scholar AI ChatGPT personalized chatbot. It's a chatbot that serves within academic databases. So this last question, if you see the sources at the end, this is the sources, you can see that every sources is on an academic database here. And the machine goes there to academic database and then put all this information in a coherent and cohesive answer. That's the thing about AI today. The thing is that the AI can answer like the user that goes to our library. Do you remember when the users in the early 2000s goes to our library and asks for a book, and then you show them, okay, this is in the shelf at the bottom of the library. Remember when the user just give you this kind of stage that, no, I don't want to go there. You can bring me the book here because I want the answer. The way that the machines are right now, giving the answer is the way that the users want to interact with information today. So you have to know how to use these tools. The last answer was within academic database. But what about the other question? The other question was very, very hard question that I've been hearing this for a long time. Will AI kill off library catalogers? Did you hear that sometimes? Did you hear that AI will replace my work on libraries? So I asked this for ChatGPT, but again, not for ChatGPT general, AI bot. I use here another specialized chatbot within ChatGPT that is called Consensus. Consensus is a GPT that specializes in not only going to academic database, but when Consensus go to academic database, they will give you an answer that the type of yes or no. So you can see that, again, the text is very complex. And then, again, you can see that at the end of the answer, they give you the link to the, to the tool that I can use here. And you can see how Consensus built this answer. And if I'm going back to the conversation, I'm going to end right now. If I'm going back, you can see that I have this very long conversation with ChatGPT itself. Okay, I only talk to different GPTs at the end of the conversation. But even if you go back and see and watch what we can talk with ChatGPT, we can do it in a very academic way. If you know how to ask, if you know how to instruct the ChatGPT to answer in a good way, in a good manner. You can see that at the beginning of the conversation, I tell ChatGPT that they have to use information sources in current and reliable web sources, and that we have to cite, we have to reference the sources. So the thing that we have here is that we have a tool, not only ChatGPT. In fact, Bruno told you about Claude, that is the favorite one on literature and on creative works, Claude.ai. We have, Mistral.ai. If you're in Europe, it's a very good AI chatbot. I mean, we had Llama, that is the Meta AI LLM. We have Gemini. We have a lot of machines that can talk the languages. And I'm not talking about only English. They can talk in Spanish, they can talk in Portuguese, they can talk in the main language in the world. But the thing is that at the end of the answer, at the end of this conversation, I turn on the voice. With the voice, with this all context of conversation, we can talk as Bruno did with me, with my digital twin. I can talk with this machine that learns a lot about AI in libraries. And I want to show you, I can't do here because of the sound of my phone isn't working on the conferences, but you can go there. I'll give you the link. You can go there and ask this conversation anything you want to go deeper on the topic that you want to. The last thing that I want to tell you is that we've been using AI for a long time. We've been using AI in libraries for discovery systems. We've been using AI for cataloging for a long years. In fact, AI do catalog really good, but not in the way that you think. It's not to replace a cataloger. It's not made to, to do very good tagging on Dewey, on UCD, on subject headings. It's made to think different your catalogs. And let me show you the last example of this. This is one of the libraries that I have the lucky to, to be the leader of the transformation of the libraries. It's called Confama in Medellin. It's a library network. And if you go to the catalog of Confama, you can see that, of course, you can search items in the usual way with keywords. But if you go back at the center of the catalog, you can find this. And this is a very different questions for a catalog. The catalog is asking you, how do you want to feel today? Okay, you can see that we made this different metadata. We put a different tag on our catalog, a tag that is not in the subject headings, is not on the Dewey system, is not on the UDC systems. We just put an AI going around all our books or our detailed books, and then we use this AI to found the emotions behind the readings, behind the movies, behind the games that we've got there. So if you want to feel inspired today, you click here, and then you can see that the catalog will show you all the items that have this emotion, this tag emotion within their data, on the catalog. So they are okay. Today we don't have nothing that will inspire us. But let me show you how I'm feeling guilty. I don't know if why isn't working right now, but what if I want to be? I don't know why it isn't working. It's the first time that doesn't work live. But this kind of tags, this kind of things different when you are cataloging is to think about your community. We've been cataloging for decades, thinking that when you're doing this, like Dewey thought it was the best way to do it, we can do it well. But it's not about that. It's not about do it like if you were doing. You have to do it for your community. You have to do it thinking, what are my community looking for? Are they looking for subjects fitting in a structured data, or are they looking for emotions? Are they looking for feelings about their, about the context that they are in? we have right now to think if we libraries have to not only replace but enrich the catalogs in the way that our communities feel, feel really inspired by the way that we organize the information. We have to catalog in our libraries to make our knowledge accessible for everyone. It's not about organizing really beautiful the library, it's to make it accessible. And if you see there, one of the answers that you will find here in the conversation that we had with ChatGPT is about how can we use this different approach that AI gives us to make cataloging easier for us and to focus on chat with our community. And let me show you the last example to finish. Do you remember this question that every librarian has sometimes, that the user comes to your desk? Okay, I remember this book with the red cover like this size, and then I used it to my homework around 2 weeks ago, but I don't remember how it was about. You know that you can put a picture of your books on an AI, and a multimodal open source AI can identify the size of a book, the color of a book, the pictures of a book, and then you can in your catalog put a tag that is not designed to be in a catalog. So that's because these machines can understand, not in the human way, but in the machine way, the natural language and the pictures and the images, because we teach the machines how to do that. So the last thing is, please remember that always our catalogs are about communities, not about the structured languages. It's about the human-centered libraries. It's about live libraries. And as I promised you, let me give you the link of this. Oh, sorry, it doesn't work. I don't know why. It's because I have an image at the beginning. So I will just copy and paste all this text for you in a Word document, and then I will give you at the end the link on this conversation. So thank you very much, and then we'll answer questions.
Thank you, everyone. It's a very great pleasure. It's a very nice presentation for the two parts, the two speakers. And we have in the chat the Santiago's clone. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, just have the assistants just have the people have just one question is about the veracity, the viability of the responses about the chatbots. It's secure for all of us, or what do you think?
Santiago,
Bruno,
can I?
Of course,
Yes.
Bruno, please.
Sure. Yeah, consensus tools like consensus and the SciSpace, for example, are reliable. It's because such tools search in academic papers, they search for academic papers, and doing with LLM, with some techniques of artificial intelligence, what they do is to put the language as a conversational way. So it's a reliable information, right? Well, but ChatGPT and all these chatbots, the way they were built, it's like they collected all the information, all the public information of the internet. And it's interesting. It's a kind of, I have this thought. It's because all the information that ChatGPT and all these LLM tools collected to perform what they do, it's a kind of scientific method. I mean, in the way that we have all this information public on the internet, and the answers correspond to the most place of kinds of information. For example, if we ask for AI in libraries, the answers will be the most information about this subject. So we have a scientific trust about it? No, but we have a kind of popularization of the answer. this answer that the LLM have to us is about the most information about the subject that is talking about in this chat, you know? So we can't have a scientific method for the answers in LLMs, but we have these answers that the mankind on the internet, it's more, you know, reliable than fake, you know? It's because we have studies in this kind of area that we have, for example, Wikipedia. We have about 80% or 90% of the information that's really okay, reliable, about based on a scientific method. But ChatGPT, the technical studies that prove his reliability are being conducted right now. But what we have sure is that all the information that we have when chatting with these tools were collected from the internet, and most of the mankind, based on the answer that we have in our daily life and in our research, is in kind of correct, you know. So that's the point. Sci-space consensus are reliable because they are interacting with scientific papers. Other tools are interacting with the information that is public on the internet, and we have this kind of philosophical sure that the mankind goes more to the truth than to the fake news and all this stuff, you know. It's a kind of scientific philosophical answer that I do now. That's it.
Thank you, Bruno. And just the last question, Santiago, please.
Yeah, let me only add something with that, as you know, as an analogy that we used to use in our courses. Large language models like ChatGPT are statistical machines. They do not understand language as we humans do. You know, they have learned with a huge amount of data, but they do not memorize it. And that's the thing that you have to know. Think about the text you used to learn to read in your school. Do you remember this text? You probably remember a couple of examples, but not all the sentences that were there in these books. Maybe you can go there when you're very young and remember this text, but not all the text. And yet you know how to read, even if you don't know the examples. The purpose of that text was fulfilled because you know how to read. That's how we create these machines. They don't memorize all the knowledge they learn from. And that's why, you know, that's why you can't tell them that give you all the sources of the knowledge. You can only tell them, you can only ask them to when you before search on a specific database or on a specific internet or on a specific web, you know, because you are using a machine that learns how to use the language, and then you put it on a specific database. That's another thing to think about it, you know, like Bruno tells. It's about where you can put the machine to search. It's about that. And to remember that these machines learn as humans, so they can't memorize all the knowledge that they learn from. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Santiago. Okay, well, that's all. Thank you all for your presence on this webinar. I'm very glad with our speakers. Thank you so much, and we are sharing the recording. And okay, well, thank you everyone, and have a very, very good day.
Thank you to Santiago, Humberto.
Thank you, Bruno. I'll be sharing in my social networks the conversations, please. So yes, follow me on @Medellin, as you can see here in my name, and we will be sharing there all the conversations. So thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Humberto.
Thank you all.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good time.
We will twin too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.